Well, for more on this story, we can cross to our correspondent, Noga Tarnopolsky. Noga, what more do we know about this incident?
Well, we have a few more details now, including a document which France 24 has been allowed to see exclusively that appears to show an Israeli tie to this flight that you're mentioning just at the end of last week. Now, let's just say this was not the first such flight. The reason that this has become an issue is that for some reason, this time, South Africa refused for a period of 12 hours to let these Palestinians in, these Gazans in. And because they were active on social media, the entire question of what this flight even is emerged. But it's not the first one, and it's not even the first one to land and to deliver Gazans to South Africa. Now, the Israeli army claims that South Africa invited these Gazans to come as a humanitarian act and had authorized their arrival, implying, therefore, that South Africa started to raise questions and left them moored on this flight because of public pressure there, because of the perception that Israel is trying to ethnically cleanse Gaza of Gazans, 100 at a time. Now, I don't know. I have no answer to that contention, but there does appear to be a tie. Several Israeli media have reported today ties to extreme right-wing Israeli elements. I have been told by one source of ties to actually a billionaire supporter of Prime Minister Netanyahu behind some of these flights. It does appear that there are right-wing Israeli elements behind this very murky organization called Al-Majd that doesn't really seem to have any existence beyond busing people from Gaza, organizing them in groups, busing them to central meeting points, getting them across the Israeli border, which is a significant hassle for Gazans, and getting them on flights. And there's significant public pressure within Israel, both for and against this sort of action, and certainly in South Africa, a very, very pro-Palestinian country. There's pressure to make sure that they are not participating somehow in the removal of mass removal of Gazans from Gaza.
Meanwhile, Noga, we're getting reports that Hamas has handed over a dead body to the Red Cross from the Gaza Strip. What more do we know?
That's right, and it's important to bring this up, Karis. While very high-stakes negotiations are underway at the UN, as you mentioned, and between Jerusalem and Washington regarding that resolution, behind the scenes, Israelis are living a completely alternate reality. And so right now, as we speak, the body of Meni Goddard, a hostage who was killed on October 7th, 2023, and whose body was taken by Hamas to Gaza, who was just returned a few days ago, he is being buried right now, surrounded by thousands of people. And as this was underway, we got this very surprising announcement, which is that with no preparation and no prior warning, Hamas had turned over another dead body to the Red Cross inside Gaza City. So if that is the case, and if this is one of the 3 remaining hostages, that would mean there are only 2 left, and it brings us closer and closer to this decision point that the United States is pointing for, where both Israel and Hamas are going to have to take difficult steps forward towards phase 2 of the ceasefire agreement.
All right, Noga Tarnopolsky, thank you very much for keeping us up to date on that.